Days of Our Lives, Allergies, and Accusations, May 5 to May 16 spoilers reveal 2 weeks of turmoil. As viewers prepare for the dramatic developments slated to unfold from May 5 through May 16, brace yourself for an emotional roller coaster of love, lies, and life-threatening events. A dangerous race against time. Will Bo get the life-saving drug? The drug heist story is heading into overdrive. The high-stakes mission to secure Versavix. The only known experimental treatment that could potentially stabilize Bo's worsening condition, is intensifying. Steve and Sean are risking everything to retrieve it before time runs out. Bo's life is hanging in the balance, and with every tick of the clock, the chances grow slimmer. Will this desperate gamble pay off? Or are they racing toward tragedy? This mission is about more than science, it's about redemption. Steve feels the weight of guilt for his role in Bo's past pain, while Sean, still emotionally raw from shooting his father during a moment of terrible confusion, is determined to do whatever it takes to make things right. The question is, will Bo survive long enough to receive the Versavix? Xander and Sarah's getaway turns into a medical emergency. Meanwhile, lovebirds Sarah and Xander, who have long been navigating the rocky waters of mistrust and reconciliation, are planning a much-needed romantic anniversary getaway. In an effort to escape the chaos that so often finds them in Salem, they decide to leave earlier than planned. A chance at rest, reconnection, and renewal. But no good thing comes easy in Salem. While strolling through the town square, hand in hand and carefree for once, Sarah grabs one of her favorite baked treats from Sweet Bits. But the sweetness quickly turns sour. She barely swallows a bite before she begins to cough violently. Her breathing becomes shallow. Panic sets in. Xander is frantic as Sarah collapses in his arms, gasping for air. It becomes clear she's having a severe allergic reaction, likely due to a change in the bakery's ingredients. All signs point to a recipe mix-up. And who was involved in the latest batch of baked goods? None other than Felicity Green. The timing couldn't be worse. Felicity had just begun to warm up to life in Salem, comforted by Chad and Kat's presence. Now, she's racked with guilt, fearing she may be the reason Sarah ended up in critical condition. Could a small culinary oversight spiral into a tragic misunderstanding? Hospital heartache and truths revealed the following week. Between May 12 and 16, Sarah is rushed to the hospital, still fighting for breath. Doctors work tirelessly to stabilize her, and eventually, she pulls through. Though physically out of danger, the scare shakes her to her core, and also shakes something loose emotionally. Throughout the ordeal, Xander never leaves her side. His desperation, his loyalty, his raw emotion, all of it touches Sarah deeply. In that fragile, life-affirming moment, she realizes she can no longer keep secrets from the man she loves. For weeks, Sarah has harbored a devastating truth. She's known about the forged letter far longer than she ever admitted. The guilt has been eating at her, and now, in the wake of her brush with death, she makes a decision. Xander deserves the truth. But how will he respond? Will this confession mend old wounds, or rip them open once more? A beaten man, a furious husband, and a web of accusations elsewhere in Salem, tensions continue to mount as Philip finds himself hospitalized after a brutal beating. The obvious suspect? Xander, who has a long and bitter history with Philip. And lately, the anger he's been harboring has been boiling just beneath the surface. Rumors begin to circulate that Xander may have snapped and stalked Philip, seeking violent revenge. Authorities seem ready to press charges. But is Xander truly to blame? There's more going on beneath the surface than meets the eye. Philip, in recent weeks, has had several suspicious encounters with Doug. The older man, plagued by increasing financial demands, appears to have drawn Philip into some murky dealings. Could Philip's injuries be the result of someone else's vendetta, perhaps the same thugs who have been threatening Doug? As the mystery deepens, Xander finds himself fighting to clear his name, all while trying to care for his recovering wife. Will he be able to prove his innocence before Salem turns its back on him once again? The shooting that still haunts Salem, and then there's the matter of the unsolved shooting, the one that left EJ bleeding, and the entire town pointing fingers. Though the shooter remains unknown, new developments in the coming days may send shockwaves through Salem. Many believe Johnny was merely a red herring, someone meant to distract the public from the true culprit. But who is the real person behind the trigger? As new evidence surfaces, the threads of this mystery begin to tighten, wrapping around several unsuspecting characters. Secrets will be exposed. Loyalties tested. And as more shocking updates come to light, Salem's already shaken residents will once again find themselves in the crosshairs of danger, deceit, and destiny. Next, Chad growing increasingly uneasy over Kat's participation in the bachelor auction with EJ. While Chad tries to appear indifferent, the subtle shifts in his gaze and the way he watches Kat talk to others betray a truth he hasn't fully admitted to himself: he's developed feelings for her. When he hears that Kat has agreed to take part in the auction, Chad is visibly unsettled. The frustration building inside compels him to act. In a moment of impulse, he approaches Kat and tries to convince her to withdraw from the event. He argues that it's not fitting for her image, that it's just a meaningless game. But Kat, sharp as ever, sees through his words. Beneath them lies something far more vulnerable: jealousy. EJ's heartfelt conversation on life and regret. After the conversation with Kat, Chad turns to EJ, questioning his brother's true motives. Is EJ simply seeking fun, or does he have genuine intentions toward Kat? But the conversation takes an unexpected turn. EJ, still recovering from a recent health scare that nearly took his life, opens up in a rare moment of vulnerability. He shares how fragile life truly is and how his near-death experience has made him reevaluate everything. With that renewed perspective, EJ gently encourages Chad not to miss out on love. If Chad truly has feelings for Kat, he must act before it's too late. EJ doesn't hide his thoughts. He tells Chad directly, "I won't pursue someone I know my brother cares for." The words are simple, but they strike deep into Chad's conflicted heart, one torn between affection and restraint. Sophia's heartbreak over prom, a dream put on hold elsewhere in Salem. Sophia is going through a different kind of heartbreak. The young girl who had long dreamed of attending the prom is now bedridden due to health issues. She's forced to cancel all extracurricular activities and remain on bed rest. This means the prom is off the table, at least in the traditional sense. Though her friends try to stay positive, it's clear Sophia is devastated. For her, prom wasn't just a school event. It was a once-in-a-lifetime memory, a moment she had dreamed of and counted down to for weeks. Tate's quiet love, a secret celebration in the making, but there's one person who refuses to let Sophia's dream fade away: Tate. Always watching over her from a respectful distance, Tate begins quietly planning something special. With Sophia's birthday just around the corner, he decides to create a private prom, a quiet, intimate celebration just for her. There won't be shimmering lights, grand stages, or booming DJs. Instead, there will be candles, flowers, a soft melody in the background, and a slow dance beneath the stars. It may not be a traditional prom, but it will be one born of sincerity, care, and quiet love. The next 2 weeks in Salem are poised to be some of the most intense and emotional we've seen in recent memory. From Sarah's life-threatening allergy to the high-stakes drug heist, from shocking confessions to brutal attacks and wrongful accusations, Days of Our Lives reminds us why we keep coming back. No one is ever truly safe, nothing is ever as it seems, and love, no matter how flawed, always fights to survive.